welcome to another installment of Metalhead Central, the show where I take an honest look at the harder side of music and give it an honest rating. Today, we head to Denmark for a band that's oddly obsessed with the Old West in America. Yes, it's Volbeat's new album, Rewind, Replay, Rebound, and it was released August 2nd on Universal and a couple of its imprints, Vertigo and Republic. Now, this is a band that I have actually had the privilege to see live when they were opening for Metallica a couple of years ago. And they're a band that has never truly disappointed me with any of their singles. That being said, I've never actually sat down and listened to one of their albums straight through. So, how'd they do? Let's find out. From everything I've heard from this band, this album really doesn't present anything too different. Michael Poulsen still sounds like the hard rock heavy metal version of Elvis Presley, and the songs are either built around a lot of groove or a lot of rather well-placed melody. The band plays a version of rock-ish metal that's incredibly radio-friendly, and in my eyes, that's just fine. I love the way that the band are able to craft these courses that are incredibly arena and stadium worthy, which is exactly what they need to do. They're a group that are currently opening for Slipknot on their American tour, and as I said, they've opened for Metallica before, and they also sell out stadiums on their own with regularity in Europe. So having an album filled with songs that people can either bang their heads to and sing along with, or throw their cell phone lights up and sing along with, is imperative to this band's success. Fortunately for them, this album has a lot of those. I'm also very happy with the way the album is produced. It's incredibly top-notch. My buddy Brutality would probably hate it.
You're darn right I'd hate it. It's not true enough.
Shut up. We're not going to go there. I don't want him getting out until after the 3 big weeks of metal are done. Anyway, the production on here is very studio quality, and it sounds as good as anything that's currently playing on mainstream rock radio. The drums are clear, and every instrument has its own little spot in the mix where it can play well with everything else. I've also got to give props to the 2 guests on this album, and when it comes to guests on VolBEAT albums, they don't scrimp. Neil Fallon of Clutch fame and Gary Holt of Slayer and Exodus fame each have guest roles on here, albeit in differing ways. Neil does guest vocals on the track Live to Die, which, by the way, is basically a lyrical tribute to Motorhead without calling itself that. And Gary has a guitar solo on the song Cheapside Sloggers. On the downside, a lot of the lyricism on here is borderline stupid, and that's disappointing coming from Michael Poulsen, who is generally a very serviceable lyricist, at least from what I've seen. But just the fact that he put the nonsense term Be-ba-ba-loo-ba in a song, a metal song, is kind of an insult to the art that is metal lyric writing. Okay, art is used very loosely there. Aside from that, some of it is just poorly written, and it doesn't make any sense. Some of the lyrics are fine, but some of them are just lacking. Another downside is that the album does start to feel repetitive, and the back half of it is not anywhere near as solid as the first half. Obviously, the singles like Leviathan, the aforementioned Sloggers, and Last Day Under the Sun sound great, but deeper cuts like Sorry Sack of Bones, what kind of title is that? I'm not listening to Cannibal Corpse, Cloud 9, and Maybe I Believe get lost within a cut-and-paste jungle. It's sad because some of the melodies on these songs sound really cool, but when you're hearing them for the umpteenth time, you're kind of wish they'd go back to grooving just a little bit, throw a little more heaviness in there, balance it out a little bit. Overall, Volbeat have put together a very serviceable, rather enjoyable album. It's not really going to light any fires, but there are a few songs that are sure to be sung at concerts for years to come, and in my mind, that's worth warranting. I just wish that the album felt more complete than it does. It may not be album of the year material, but there are some songs on here that I would probably listen to again. With that in mind, I'm giving Rewind, Replay, Rebound by Volbeat an 88 out of 100 on the YPS scale. Thank you so much for watching. Click like and don't forget to subscribe for more Metalhead Central and the Metal Artist Review Show. Next week, we're continuing on. We are in the middle of the biggest 3 weeks in the biggest month for metal on the planet this year, with probably the biggest metal release of the year. Although Tool fans would definitely disagree with me, and they say wait till the end of the month when Tool drops their first album in, 13 years. Slipknot is dropping their brand new album, We Are Not Your Kind, next week, and I'm going to be checking it out. I hope that you will join me. You've been watching Metalhead Central, where I give honest ratings to honest music, and I'll see y'all next time.
Deviate from the